Hey everybody, just got back from a trip with my little brother. There were, 9 days, 8 or 9 states I crossed through, 3,200 miles. So it was a really good loop. Did that in the car though. Anyways, I had a couple extra days off and just wanted to go out and do a little solo camping, be on the bike. So I'm gonna load up a couple things out of the kitchen and get on the way. So stick around. Well, the thermostat says it's only 91 down here. It feels hotter than that. I don't know if that was from all the setup that I was doing in the garage that was pretty hot. But boy, it just feels really hot. So, but we're moving. Getting some air moving over us, so that's good. All right, well, let's get out of town. Get up into the mountains where it's cooling off. Now that makes a little bit more sense. All of a sudden, my thermometer, after the bike running for probably a solid 5 minutes, I would guess, thermometer popped up to 109. That's a little bit more what it feels like. Yeah, so we're right around 109 degrees out here. And it feels hot. But like I said, to the mountains. Okay, got a grocery shopping done. It's cooled off to 104, so that's nice. Thought it would actually be a little cooler up here, but we'll take it. See that there's some storm clouds over here, actually on all sides of us at this point. So that'll cool us off too. That'll be good. Okay, so from here we're going to head further up 87 through Strawberry and Pine, and then pick up Forest Service Road 300, which will take us east-southeast. And that's where we'll hop off at the Milk Ranch Road, see if there's any open and available camping up in that area. Well, and I had actually even thought about taking a left in that same area near Strawberry, I believe it is. Maybe that's actually Pine. And heading to the west and check out Fossil Creek, but I have a feeling that's going to take us down in elevation. And what I don't want to do is go down in elevation at this point at 105 at 5,000 feet. It's not going to get any more pleasant going down. So we'll look for uphill, see if we can't get it to cool off. Up on the rim, which is be pretty hard to see, but those mountains in the distance, it's actually a plateau. That's the rim, the edge of it rather. So from there, we're going to get a little bit more altitude and it'll cool off a little bit more. All right, check in a bit. So much nicer up here. At one point down in the valley, it just touched on, well, on the bike's thermometer, touched on 113. It was a solid 112 at least. Now we're down to 82. That's pretty reasonable. All right. Now we're just going to drop off at 300 here, the rim road, and find us a camping spot. One other thing I don't know that I talked about previously on this bike, on the BMW, is my buddy Steve. Hey Steve, if you're watching this. He was always hassling me because I didn't stand up enough when we were off-road, which, I mean, he was right, but I had to install bar risers so that I could be able to stand up. It was just too low, and now it's pretty comfy. So I'll post the make and model of bar risers that I chose to go with, but man, this is just night and day. Makes it so much more comfortable. You know, when you're standing up, you're actually standing up and in a relaxed position. So it worked out well. Thanks for hassling me, Steve. It worked. Well, how's that look? This might be home for the night. It's a pretty okay view, huh? Isn't that gorgeous? I hope you can see it pretty well through the lens of the camera there. So that's the rest of the rim that goes to the southwest there. Southwest. To the southeast. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, this looks pretty deluxe. Nice, flat, out on the edge like this. Yeah, I like it. This looks good. Okay. Circle the wagons. Put up the tent. Well, after taking a look around the site, I have determined that I want to be just a little bit to the north of the campfire ring here. So let's bring the bike over there and get set up. I'm going to park it so it's facing that road we came in on. So if anybody comes in, they're more likely to actually see the front of the bike, the headlights, reflectors, etc. And they'll know that this spot is taken. Alrighty. I don't know if you can hear the wind blowing through the mic, but it's pretty breezy up here. Nice temperature though, low 80s right now. I think it's supposed to get down around low 50s, I think. So it'll be a nice night. Oh, there's pretty purple flowers. I don't want to put a tent up on top of pretty purple flowers. We'll be careful. Looks like we may have some fairly good dirt here. Not, well, I don't want to curse myself. Jinx myself, rather. Curse myself. Fingers crossed. Three out of four. If that's all we get, I think we're in pretty good shape. But we'll shoot for 4. We'll see how it goes. Nailed one. Let's see if we can get around it. So far, so good. Hoping there's a black strap in here somewhere that was misplaced when we buttoned up the tent while we were in Montana, because I liked having that strap for getting this loaded up, but things tend to disappear sometimes. Got raindrops. Looks like that's perfect timing, huh? I think I'm going to go ahead and stake out the sides. I don't typically put stakes in these. I'll show it to you when I come to the other side over there. But these are intended to keep the rain fly a little ways away from the tent in the event of a rainstorm. So it separates that inside living compartment. I don't know exactly what to call that. The section that isn't the fly, the inside of it, the living quarters. But we'll stake that down, and then if we do get any rain, it'll pull off to those sides. Less likelihood of the water getting up under and into the tent. All right, last stake. Time to open it up a little bit. Let some air in. Let's go ahead and open this side as well. True that I would have preferred to have the opening on the side over there facing the valley, but I didn't plan it well, and then the tree right there is in the way of the door, so we'll just live with it. All right. Kind of looks like home, doesn't it? All right, so I got the air mattress out. I got bugs now. Sleeping bag is fluffing up. Pillow set up. Air mattress is inflating. That was quick. Only took a couple minutes. So, since we're not using the wood burning stove, I'm not even going to bother to set it up. We're just going to go with a single chair on this particular go around. Pretty happy with this set of chairs. This is the REI Flex Light. I need to tighten up the elastic a little bit, but it's been a good chair. Trustworthy. It was even my furniture in my house for a minute. Just like that. Pretty well dialed. I also grab a little bit to drink and relax for a little bit, because I probably have a little while before I need to start dinner, so I guess I grab a pannier and pull that in. There. Now I got a table. Might as well zip this up and keep the bugs out. I was having some problems with these zippers, which I shouldn't be terribly surprised considering how much use I've gotten out of this tent. But looks like I'm going to need to try and lubricate the zippers. So So yeah, I tried to lubricate these zippers with citronella candle wax, but it didn't seem to help all that much. I guess it's a little bit better, but not great. So I'm going to try something else to see if that works. The zippers aren't broken, they're just jumping the tracks a little too often. So and that makes me nervous, because when you need these zippers to button down in a rainstorm or something like that, you need them. So anyways, I'm going to sit and enjoy some water for a little bit, and then think about starting dinner not too long. Catch you later. So this is exactly why I squirrel away shit like this. Planters salted peanuts. Because you never know when you're hungry and just need a little something. And I'm not really ready to like cook dinner, but I needed a little bit of something. I was kind of hungry. I did eat some breakfast today, but it wasn't much. And the ride up was hot. Like I said, it was touching on 113 for a while. Well, let me say it this way. It was 112 for a while, touching on 113. But it cooled off to 85 once I got up here onto the rim. So it's certainly more pleasant. But the heat just wipes you out. I guess I could take my sleeves off too. I don't necessarily need these since I don't have any airflow going over me. These are really cool. If you haven't heard me sing their praises yet, it's a 3M material distributed by Bellwether. They're really bicycling sleeves. And they're just meant to cool you off. But they're also SPF 50. So, you know, great sun protection. And any moisture, anything you sweat into these, the air moving over it cools you off really well. So I'm super happy with them. Been real pleased. Okay. I'm gonna munch on nuts for a little bit. And then maybe I'll take you for a walk out to the rim. Okay. Check in a bit. How's that for a view, huh? Not bad. All right, so it's time to get back to camp. Probably come back out here again though. Just enjoy the view and sit and relax. Kind of take it in. If I go, I'll bring you with me. Sound like a deal? It's just beautiful. One of the things I did want to show you is how I recharge my gear while I'm on the road. Carry a bag of wires and USB cables, 110 to USB adapters, batteries, all that kind of stuff. So, but from this port that I've wired up on my motorcycle, give you a close-up of it here. This little guy, so gives me voltage at the battery currently, so I know I still have about 12.5 volts. They can be charging my wireless charger here, so that's doing its thing. And then also I can charge the helmet. Now I can charge the helmet when I'm riding as well, but I don't like to be tethered to the bike any more than I can help it, so I do try to avoid that. So we're charging there, so that's good. So we'll leave that be. The phone's charging, so it's good for now. Let it charge for a bit. Go relax. Okay, time to get dinner started. Because there's a stage 1 fire hazard, I think that's what it's called. Could be wrong about that, but no fires of any kind are allowed in the area. There's still one that's burning a couple miles away, so we're gonna keep things contained with the little camp stoves here. I like them. They work pretty good. Had these since... Okay, I don't remember how long I've had them. Long enough for the piezos to, the starters, to wear out. There is a kit to replace it. But I haven't bothered with it. Lighter works just as well. I have a really nice setup with the this grate where these slide right underneath, and it works out really nicely. And I didn't think I would need it, and then I get up here and then I see that there's a ban on open fire. So yeah, it's okay. It'll work out just the same. But would have been nice to have that. It just allows me to kind of move things around a little bit, balance the heat how I want it. a little bit better. But it all works. Okie doke. Probably I'll start out with squash, potato, and onions first. Ooh, guy's a little on the squishy side. I did rinse him, but this guy, I don't know. Yeah, tastes fine. Cut them in a little smaller pieces so that they cook a little more quickly. Brought all of these potatoes. Now I'm kind of wondering with the squash and the onion, yeah, if that's not going to be a little bit too much if I do all the potatoes. Not that hungry. Yeah, I think I will hold off on that. Okay. Trash bag. Yeah, because it's also going to be a lot of squash. Tell you what, let's get that potato going first. Say what you want, but working with I can't believe it's not butter when you're camping just makes life easy, man. Rookily dookily. I know. That could have worked out a little bit better. I'm so used to cooking for more than one person that I don't know why I brought so much. You go back in there, you go in with him, you guys are going back into the fridge. And by fridge I mean cooler. That's about good enough. I like to cook this down really well. Like, everything gets browned really, really well. So, you're going to be cooking on that for quite a while. We'll just let that go. Could be 25 minutes maybe, and then I'll put the steak on. So, that'll be a bit. For the time being, I suppose, I can put that back. Yeah, it's still good for now. I wish that they would work on technology where cameras can smell, because this smells so fantastic right now. Just adding a little pepper and a little salt. I've got my favorite for the steak, McCormick's Montreal steak seasoning. Yeah, that's the stuff right there. I like it. That's going to be a fantastic steak. But these vegetables, well, I guess anything with that much butter is going to smell pretty good, but man, it smells good. And the beer, I'm only drinking part of the beer because I need 2/3 of a cup for beer pancakes that I'm making in the morning. Beer pancakes and bacon is breakfast. So anyways, I'll enjoy a little bit of this with dinner, and then it's best to have opened the beer the night before, throw it back in the fridge or the cooler, as it were, to allow it to go flat a little bit more, so that when you use it to make the beer pancakes, you really get that flavor. And so, there's still some carbonation, so it still helps to lift the pancakes a little bit more. But yeah, it's all good. It's fantastic. Wish you could smell this. This is just absolutely perfect. The wind actually died for a little bit. Just absolutely calm. Not even a whisper of a breeze. And that was almost strange. Like, I've never had it so still up here on the rim. But it's kicking back up now a little bit. Every once in a while, a little rain squall goes over, but it's not much of anything. So if it gets any worse, we'll close it up. But otherwise, all good. And there's tons of ventilation around this tent. Actually, and I've got it open all the way through the tent, but all the way around the sides here, and then up at the top. So even if I were to close this, the amount of ventilation coming through, not going to be any issue for single burner. And I pulled the other burner out. Probably won't use that until tomorrow morning for breakfast, so I can do the pancakes in one and bacon in the other. So, all right, the cooking continues. Okay, I think it's probably about time to put the steak on. Yeah, these all look real good. Oh, watch out for that big, see the size of that bumblebee? Get out of here. Bumblebees these days. I hope you can see that. I think that looks just fantastic. I hope it comes through well on the camera, but yeah. Alright, so we're going to move this a little bit to the side, make some room, add that steak, turn that down for just a moment. Okay. I'm gonna go wash my filthy paws. That's pretty much the end of the soap there. Had the soap container since 2012. Good job, little soap container. We'll keep it and see maybe if there is another purpose somehow I can use it. But, alright, I'm gonna go wash my hands. I'll be right back. I thought while that steak was cooking I'd walk you out so we could take a look at the sunset. I don't know how well we'll be able to see it, but yeah, well, take a little walk and see what it looks like. Well, and being that we're looking east, the sun being behind us, it's already set such that you can't really see yeah, we're not actually seeing the sunset, but at least the clouds are kind of pretty and stuff like that. You can still see the rainstorms off in the distance. But just beautiful country. Boy, it's going to be a nice temperature tonight too. Just perfect. Alright, let's get back to the steak. Are those Indian paintbrush? Maybe, maybe not. But what we did find was an empty can of something. So we'll take that back and throw it in the trash. Jackasses. I know. Open flame inside a tent. So when the breeze died down, the mosquitoes came out. So, citronella candle, closed up the tent except for the vents on both sides, and then, like I said, across the bottom. So, we'll be safe. Pretty sure. I mean, I run a wood-burning stove in here, so I guess some risks are worth taking. I don't know how well you'd be able to see this steak and my potatoes, onions, and squash all mixed. Oh my god, it smells so good. Alright. How'd we do? Oh, cooked it perfect. Second casualty. It's tenderloin, so it's not as good as the fillet that I did in the last video, but still, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Now, the vegetables, those are fantastic. It's interesting, the ceramic knife doesn't seem to scar up the Teflon on this pan. So, I mean, fortunately, but as much as I've done that, and for so long I was trying to be careful and never touch it, and accidentally touched it here and there, and yeah, it just doesn't. Yeah, I mean, its days are kind of numbered. It's got plenty of years behind it, but still, it's holding tight. So in the morning, I think, well, I came in on 300, the National Forest Road 300, and then took a right on, which would have been kind of south, onto Milk Ranch Road. So followed Milk Ranch Road for a couple miles down, and that's where I found this. I guess there's a Milk Ranch Road point or something like that. So I'll follow this when I leave in the morning, go out, because I think there might be actually a way to get out, go in that direction. Obviously, if it goes to a point, it's probably a turnaround. But anyways, things in the map suggests that there's some kind of road or trail or something. So we'll check it out. I'll let you know. Just kind of thinking about what tomorrow's going to bring. I do want to get out of here fairly early. The valley is going to be super hot. Like, it's going to be 110 by noon again, or 11. So I would like to maybe like be to the house by around 11, which is totally feasible, really. I guess I don't need to push it. It's just, when it gets 105, 110, it's not fun. You can suffer through, but I guess that's exactly what's happening, is you're just suffering through. So, now that I'm thinking about it, I'd made a note of an idea. Let's take a quick look. See what that was. Every once in a while, I'll get an idea for something that I would like to discuss while I'm out camping. And, just a topic to touch on. Well, I'm not finding it quickly. Maybe I missed it. Boop, 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 boop. There it is. Oh, yeah. I think I touched on this one a little bit in the last video. It was the embarrassment and shame of looking adolescent. Man, God, and I was just thinking about that, literally, within the last hour as I was just sitting here. Because I was looking out at the moon. I can see the moon just when the tent was open. It was perfect, and there was an airplane flying by. And as I was looking up at the airplane that was still in the sunlight as the sun is setting, and it was just like, I have so much gratitude and so much appreciation for what I have, yet why do I still have this, this underlying feeling of guilt and shame and feelings that I, just flat out just not good enough. That's kind of what it comes down to for me, is just not being valuable. So, and at one point, this happened at one of the places that I was working, where something took place. Somebody jacked up a database. Wasn't me. Didn't have that. I didn't have database level
authority. So, but in finding it was a big deal. And then taking it to my manager and his manager, and I remember the director saying, no one's in trouble. And it occurred to me, everything I was saying was if I was in trouble. That's how I just react. I react to all situations as if I've done something wrong and I'm not smart enough to know my way out, and so I need to somehow fix it. I mean, earlier in my life, I'd just lie about it and cover it up. I mean, silly things. You know, bumped into a teacher who was carrying a cup of coffee because I was walking up the left side of the hallway. Well, legitimately, there was another class coming the other direction, but it was a ways out. I bumped into the teacher. She spilled her coffee. She asks me, "What are you doing?" Walking on this direction on, you know, the wrong side of the hall. And then I was like, well, but this class, who was now conveniently there, wasn't there when I was walking that way. Immediately, you know, just have to divert, project, not assume any guilt. But then deep down inside, the shame, the guilt, you know, all that stuff would just, I mean, all night long, it would just burn in me. Never much of a good sleeper because of having all of these thoughts about stuff that happened during the day that I didn't handle well, or someone's going to find out, or, you know, or I'm going to lose my job because they're going to realize. I think imposter syndrome is what that's called. But, you know, eventually they're going to find out that I'm no good. And again, I think I've kind of touched on this on other videos, but yeah, just all these feelings we just have to wade through and kind of parse out and figure out where they came from. Try and do something with them, something productive. Because there's times where in social situations where my confidence is so incredibly high and I just, you know, cock of the walk kind of, you know, thing, and I know people see it, and, you know, sometimes it's endearing and sometimes it's not. But yeah, being seen is not perfect. Or rather, not being perfect and being seen as I am. It's probably a more accurate way to say it. That's tough for me. That's a tough one. Not being perfect and knowing that side shows, you know, whether it's my weight or whether it's my, you know, not being tan or not being dressed right for the occasion, or like whatever the situation, like whatever it is, you know, those do come up as well. But for the most part, in social situations, I do feel pretty confident. In the work stuff, as I've mentioned before, man, that can trip me up. I can really stew on some stuff like that for a long time. Getting better, thankfully. All the work, all the people I surround myself with, meetings I go to, and all that kind of stuff, it all helps. Now that I'm back from this, I mentioned it earlier in the video, I believe, this Western States loop that I did with my little brother Braden, drove 3,200 miles, you know, looped around the continental Western United States, and just had a fantastic time with it. Took 2 weeks off from work, which, you know, thank goodness, you know, I had the time to do it and stuff like that, which all of that was fantastic. So grateful that I had that time, this time, right now, to do that. But there's always that underlying little bit of, on vacation, what if they find out, you know, they don't need me, kind of a thing. So, but now that the vacation stuff is coming to an end, I will get back to my meetings. I was even looking at going to some meditation groups and stuff like that. Just, whatever I can do to just calm the noise, just slow the noise down. That seems to be what really helps me sleep at night, that kind of stuff. So, I think the candle might be working. I just saw a mosquito zipping around in here a little bit, but there certainly aren't as many as they were. So, anyways, I don't know. That's kind of my fireside chat for this video. Not a whole lot. Go just finish dinner. But I'll check in with you before I go to bed. Well, here's something that you don't see talked about on a whole lot of camping shows, is how people do their cleanup after dinner. So throw some clean water in the pan, heat it up, get it boiling, scratch out all the stuff that I can, and then little Doc Brauners. Am I pronouncing that right? Yeah, Doc Brauner. So I'll turn this off, and so it's not so much of a boil. Add a little bit more water to it to cool it off a little bit of soap, and then rinse it out. Clean up the rest of the stuff in the soapy water, rinse it all. That's pretty much it. But I just thought it was funny because no one ever really shows how they do that. So I'm showing you how I do that. Alright. Here's the water. Just a little bit. We want it to stay pretty warm. Oh yeah, that's still hot. This is why I like that grate that I was talking about, because these stoves are not quite super stable. They're just not, I've already had a couple instances just tonight where it felt like this was going to fall off. So it makes me a little nervous, and having that rack grate makes it a lot easier. Really don't want to just throw that stuff in. Okie doke. So I'm going to take this for a walk with some fresh water. Go rinse it out. I'll be right back. And I'm back. So that worked out well. Again. Okay, time for dessert. It's out on the bike. Alright, I'll be back. Time to put this up anyways. Kidok. Well, I'm gonna sit and read my World War II book and enjoy my dessert, and then get ready for bed in a little bit. Yeah, it was a good day. I was sure ornery earlier on today. Glad that went away. I feel better now. I don't know why I was ornery, but thank you for asking. Okay. Alright, well, it is time for bed. So, we're gonna crawl in. Everything else should be okay. Alright, I think we're good. Alright, so teeth are all brushed and crawled in for the night. Vents are all open on the tent because it's barely even a breeze out there and it's warm. So, like mid high 60s. So, hopefully it'll cool off a little over the night. But, anyways, should be good. Should be nice. Maybe a little bit of rain or something. Okay, I'll see you for bacon and pancakes in the morning. Good night. Morning. Slept pretty good. It's nice and quiet out here. Yeah, 6:15. I was wondering if I was going to be able to see the sunrise or not. There's that. Looks like there's some cloud cover. I'm looking out through the vent. But might be worth a shot to get up and go check and see. So, trying to get moving. Not a bad view for the morning, huh? Morning. Again. Time to get some water on. Cut it out. Okay, that one's empty. This will be our coffee water. I have no idea what that is. This will be our coffee, or actually probably do tea this morning. And it'll also be our cleaning water when we clean up after the bacon and pancakes. I do have little wind guards that go around these, but it is absolutely windless so far.
so no point in bringing those out. Go away, little bug. So yeah, sit here and read a little bit more and wait for the water to heat up. Enjoy the sunrise. Yeah. Nice morning so far. Let's see here. I've got Egyptian licorice tea, Starbucks peppermint mocha, or coffee. I think I'll just have tea. Almost boiling. I'm not usually ready to eat the moment I hop out of bed. It takes me a little while for my stomach to get moving, so we'll enjoy hot beverage, relax for a little bit until I'm feeling more like I'm ready to eat. This is where it's really nice to have that wood burning stove, because I like to keep the water hot, but I don't really want to waste the fuel to let it just sit there and cook off. So I guess I'll go ahead and turn it off. But when you got the wood burning stove, obviously you're just running the wood burning stove the entire time, so you can throw things on there and it just keeps it at a warmer temperature, maybe not boiling, because I can rotate it off on that warming plate. But in this instance, I'll have to just shut it off and turn it back on, fire it up when we're ready to use the water for cleaning. So, anyways, time to relax again. Welcome back. Oh, it's time for bacon and beer pancakes.
I really don't have a problem touching bacon. I just don't want to have to wash my hands again. You know, safety first. It works out really well at the Safeway in Payson, because you can buy individual slices of bacon rather than having to buy, you know, half pound or something, you know, whatever it is like that. Because I only need about 3 pieces. And these 3 pieces should create plenty of fat for us to cook up the pancakes. Little bugs are really out this morning, so I fired up the candle again. I can't really tell if it helps or not. There's just no... Get out of here. There's just no wind in the air, so all the little bugs are happy to come out and visit. Still a nice morning. This cloud cover is nice. Keeps the direct sunlight off, or else it would warm up a lot more quickly. I suppose it's still just maybe creeping up on about 70 degrees. So, nice morning. What I've done here is create these Ziploc bags of pancake mix, all measured out. So all I need to do is add 2/3 of a cup of water or beer, and we're all ready to go. Now you see that I've got the oatmeal out. I'm going to add a little bit of oatmeal to it as well. Gives it a little bit of texture, a little something. It'd be great if I had blueberries as well. That makes it really good. That mixes in real nice. Smell like we're really cooking something over here. Well, we're doing okay. Right on schedule.
I think this bacon is pretty well dialed. Even a little bit crispier than I prefer. But easily salvageable. Alright, well, due to a bit of a battery issue that I'm having here, I have to revert to cell phone. Well, that is not what you want to happen. But I got it on video, so, you know, that's good. Yep. And that's what can happen. So, I can't flip with my left hand, and that's probably not going to protect it well enough. All right, we'll swap. There we go. All right. Oh, can't get enough. There we go. Okay, so that one's done. Beer pancakes are getting going. Batteries are dying. Lighting the place on fire. And, yeah. I'm going to cook up another pancake and then we'll eat and pack stuff up, get out of here. Yeah, you can see that the bacon is in its own little consolidated sheath, bacon sheath. It's between two plates. Anyways, I'm going to finish this up and get out of here. That's how breakfast came out. A couple of pancakes and bacon. All looks pretty good. Get a little bit of syrup on there and we'll be eating. So I'm going to dig in and I'll check in with you after we've packed up, once we get on the road. All right, time to get out of here. All cleaned up. Bike's loaded. Come on, little buddy. Get in your hole. There we go. Let this charge for a little while. Yeah, 26%. It's a little low. Just in case. Volts are good. Check the oil before I started. About 114 miles left of fuel. I was just debating. Yeah, I think I do want to. There we go. I'll reset the suspension for a little bit of off-road action. Turn off ABS and traction control. Let's get out of here. A brisk 83 degrees at, what is it, 9:40? Nice temp. Going to be a little warm in the valley again today. They said 114 or something like that. So I was kind of planning on getting out a little bit earlier than this, but we're fine. So that was a pretty nice camping spot. Great view. Man, and I couldn't believe how windless it was last night. I mean, a little breeze here and there, but didn't even have birds or anything. It's kind of funny I say that. Not that I mind the sounds of nature. I really do enjoy them, but there's been some occasions where you'll get some birds that just make all kinds of racket, like all night long. And it's just kind of a pain. So, anyways, last night was pretty quiet. It was nice. Good times were had. Good sleep was had. Now, I said that I was going to head left, go a little bit more south to check out Milk Point Road. But I feel like I kind of want to get off the hill, down through the valley, and done as soon as before the real heat kicks in, like between noon and 3, even noon and 5, I suppose. Let me close that now that I'm speeding up. So, yeah, it would just be a good idea to get down through the valley into the house as early as possible. So, another day we'll come back and we'll check out Milk Ranch Road Point, I think is what it was called. Oh yeah, and I was talking about these risers. They're ROX risers. I think this is the 1.5" model. But what a difference they have made. So, Steve-O, thanks buddy, appreciate the encouragement. It was the right decision to be made. I have them on the 650, the KLR, from the set that I had traded from Allison because Allison's Wonderland, if anybody's checked out her blog or any of that kind of stuff. I don't think that she's been writing for a while. She was living in Panama for a while after she rode to Ushuaia and sold Oscar the motorcycle. But anyways, there were some risers on Oscar, her KLR 650, that she didn't really care for, but she needed the short bolts to be able to remove them. Well, I had the short bolts because I didn't have risers on mine. So I just swapped her for the risers, took the risers, gave her the short bolts, and Bob's your uncle, or something like that. Ah, that breeze feels nice. Enjoy this weather while we can. I have a feeling. Yep, that was my turn. So we'll just make a little turn around here. Try to keep the dust down a little bit since there's some campers there. Milk Ranch Point was what it was called. Got it. Sure am pleased with these Wilbur springs, and I guess they revalved the suspension as well, but sent these out to the, oh shoot, what is the name of the place up in Scotts Valley rather, California. They put the Wilbur's shock on. Now I'm not remembering the name of that place either. But they can sure take a hit. Yeah, it's been unbelievable, some of the things that I've hit at high speed accidentally. Yeah, ditches and trenches and rocks and all kinds of stuff. 2 up, 1 up with luggage, all that kind of stuff. And it just has done an amazing job of not blowing a tire, bending a rim, anything like that. These blind corners make me a little nervous. Not totally blind, but just blind enough that somebody is going fast with an RV or something. I'd sure hate to meet up with them. Would not work out well for me. I certainly wouldn't want to hurt anyone else. Although, unless they were in a pretty small vehicle, I don't think I'd hurt anybody. The most I could fear doing was the emotional damage of me flopping on their hood. All right. Pretty well done with the dirt, and I like that it's Friday today, so there's probably more people that are headed out than people like me that are headed back, which makes it nice, because then I'll have the rest of the weekend to chill out, relax, get this video posted, and enjoy my weekend. Okay, I'm going to sign off for a little bit. Chat with you somewhere along the way. Well, I will call this a success. Got a little toasty coming into town, as I mentioned it would, but otherwise, things went really well. That was good. Alright, see you in the next episode.